Nobody indeed. What is good? Welcome into Driving the Line. My name is Alan Bell. Got a fantastic show lined up for you today. And Bradley, looking sharp, my man. How we doing?
Doing great, AB. Another great day. Got a lot to look forward to. A bunch of, it's actually a really loaded midweek slate. So there's a lot of matches going on, a lot of nuance. Excited to be here.
All right. Well, good, man. You know what? We're going to need it today because, look, every morning, like it varies. Like we go live 10 a.m. Eastern, but it could be 10:02. It could be 10:09. And the reason for that is every morning it is just a constant roll the dice and pray that Google will work. And today it does not work. So we're going to have to get creative. We don't have slides. Well, we have a couple slides. That's it. So, yeah. Fun. Exciting. But it's going to be a good show. Now, let's see how we did yesterday here. All right, UCLA. We get both of those. Now, I understand that some books voided these. So that stinks. I mean, you got your money back, but that stinks. Oregon State, Louisville, we get the over 10.5 there. We do not get the Arkansas and UCLA 10.5. It ends at 10. Ends at 10. One damn run, man. We get the Orioles team total over 4.5. We do not get the Rays. The Orioles won 5-1. Sorry, I couldn't breathe there. Yeah, so we'll take them. We'll take them. You know what I mean? Absolutely take them. Now, we got some games to talk about today. I did not mean to hit that button. All right. What do we have? All right, we've got picks at least. Okay. Go ahead and let it rip, buddy. What do you got?
We're headed to that noon, 12 Central Time match in the second division of Norway. On your book, it'll be listed as Norway 1 or Norway First Division. It's the second tier of Norwegian football. In a match between Kongsvinger taking on Alisson, we're taking that over 2.75 at minus 135. Both of these teams are trending in all of the categories. Kongsvinger, 9 of 10 this season, once they've been down in this second division, that they've scored 25 of the last 27 matches, regular scores, 2+ in 10 of the last 13, 6 of 7 versus Alisson, and 3 of 3 while playing at home versus Alisson. Conceded regular 2+ in 7 of their last 8 matches, including 21 of the last 27. So they're trending above that 75% conceding mark, plus 2+ in 7 of the last 8, which is really solid if you're looking for total goals. BTTS in both 7 of the last 10 and over 2.5, 7 of the last 10 league matches, but higher, 75% of their overall total trending matches in the last 25 to 42 between BTTS over 2.5. Both teams hit that over 2.5 when they hit BTTS pretty regularly. And that's 18 of 20 for Kongsvinger and 20 of 20 for Alisson. So it looks like both teams should be able to score. Both teams are scoring. Kongsvinger and Kongsvinger's conceding. Alisson scoring as well, 12 of 14, 2+ in 7 of the last 11, and 8 straight matches. All 8 versus Kongsvinger and 2+ in 6 of the last 8 versus Kongsvinger. So both teams scoring, conceding, both teams hitting those totals, both teams scoring multiple, both teams conceding multiple. And in this matchup history, 6 of the last 7 have hit both teams to score. 5 of the last 7 have hit over 2.5, including 3 of 3 with Kongs at home and 2 of 3 with Kongs at home. And when they hit that over 2.5, they hit that over 3.5. 4 of the last 5 hit over 3.5. We're taking that over 2.75 Asian total between Kongsvinger, Alisson in the Norwegian second division, but it will say Norwegian 1 or Norway 1, Norway First Division, Kongsvinger, Alisson.
Nice. Kongsvinger is a very aggressive name. I respect it. I like it. Where are they located? Where's Kongsvinger?
Somewhere in Norway.
Okay.
Somewhere in Norway. And Spell Dog, it is still at a 2.75 over on Bet 365.
Nice. Somewhere in Norway. That's a life motto. Like, that's more than a t-shirt. That, like, you know how you had, like, like that summer where everybody was listening to Kenny Chesney and every song was about going to the water, right? Like, that's the Norway version of that. The Kongsvinger is their Kenny Chesney. That made no sense whatsoever, but we do what we do. Okay. Louisville, Coastal Carolina, over 11. Now, Millsy says, I think I have a saddle up Haas for Louisville and Coastal on the under on the under. Millsy. Yeah, that feels like good old Western music. Like Dwight Yoakam would be covering that song, that was written in like 1912. Millsy, let's go. Yeah, you name it. 5 memberships. Let's do it. Let's do it, dude. Yeah. And you know what? Look, I feel it. And like I said, I do not have graphics here today. So we're going to have to do a lot of this verbally. All right. And I'll get home runs and stuff after this, right after the show. But all right. So Louisville Coastal, I think I do have a graphic for this actually. All right. So let me read the picks. Louisville Coastal Carolina over 11. All right. Arkansas LSU over 10.5. Both of those at -115. All right. So we've definitely been able to see runs that have come. All right. And I'll tell you what, this is what we'll do. All right. This is what we're going to do. We're going to use this as a utilitarian show for anybody that might be new and doesn't know the sites and the tools and how to use them. I can just do it live. Yeah. So we'll just walk through that. I won't have home runs, but we'll be able to I can do that afterward. All right. So let's take a look here at college baseball. So again, let me read the picks. All right, it's playing the overs. Louisville, Coastal Carolina over 11, Arkansas, LSU over 10.5. Now, let's talk about these games and let's talk about the weather. So here's the bracket. Here's where we're at. Okay, so we're down to the Final Four. All right, we are in the Final Four. You've got Louisville, Coastal Carolina, Arkansas, and LSU. Okay, now how this works is we have 2 games today, same times, 2 p.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. Eastern. So Louisville is against Coastal Carolina today, and it is now a best 2 of 3 series, essentially. Well, no, it's a best of 2. It's 2 games. Okay, let me take a step back. That was the worst way I could have said this. It's a double elimination tournament. Louisville has 1 loss. Coastal Carolina has 0 losses. So Louisville is going to have to beat Coastal Carolina twice. Louisville will have to beat Coastal Carolina today at 2 p.m. Eastern, and then they'll have to beat Coastal Carolina tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern to advance to the National Championship Series. On the right side, all right, LSU is 2-0. Arkansas is what? 2-1. So today, you have Arkansas and LSU, all right, 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. Arkansas has to beat LSU tonight and then beat LSU tomorrow night to advance to the National Championship Series. So essentially, Coastal Carolina and LSU, listed as the home teams here today, have a loss to play with. All right? But here's the deal. If you're Coastal or you're LSU, the last thing that you want to see is a game tomorrow. Because today, yeah, there's not as much pressure when you've got that loss in your back pocket that you can play with. You could say, okay, we could lose a game and we can come back tomorrow, win it, and we're all good. That sounds good today. That doesn't sound good tomorrow, waking up when you have to beat this team or now you are out. And think about it. Louisville and Arkansas, basically their entire tournament, they've been playing with a knife at their throat, right? 1 loss away from being out. They've lived through this stress. This is normal to them now, right? Like they don't have pitching decisions to go. Like they're just playing. So I say all that to say this. If you're Coastal or you're LSU, You want to score runs immediately. Immediately. Because you're going to have a large pitching advantage. Brad, it feels like Coastal Carolina hasn't played in a week. We haven't talked about them at all, which is good. I mean, that means that they've been like unbelievably efficient and they're fully rested.
And that was my pick. So hopefully the boys go all the way.
Would you say it again? Go ahead.
I said that was my pick. I took Coastal to go all the way. So hopefully they keep rolling.
You did. Well, they're one win away. They win one game today. They're in the national championship.
And right. So that was a good payout too. I believe that number.
Huge. Huge. Yeah. Huge. Now, here's another thing. Actually, two more things to look at here. So, Coastal and LSU are both the home team today. You've earned it, right? 2-0. Already beaten this team. Here's the problem. You lose today. You not like if you're LSU, if you lose to Arkansas today, not only do you have to play Arkansas tomorrow, Arkansas is the home team tomorrow. If you are like, this is the ultimate like you're standing at a fork in the road and the travel to the left is milk and honey and the travel to the right, dude, is honey and nails, right? Like, just awful. Like, if you're Coastal or LSU, take the left road today. Win. Don't worry about it. And it's just milk and honey, baby. All right? You're in the national championship. You don't have to play till Saturday. You're good. But if you lose today, you are going down that second road. And that road is filled with problems. Just be careful, boys. We're going to have this is going to be good baseball today. This is going to be real good baseball because all four of these teams know it. Now, Coastal Carolina, I'm fascinated with them because I don't think Arkansas or LSU come out tight. Right? Like they know each other, right? They've played each other. Like this isn't anything new. Like this to them, this is what the season was supposed to come down to. Arkansas or LSU. So I don't think they're going to be nervous. Now, that being said, LSU could come out and pound on Arkansas immediately and let this thing go. But I don't know if I want to give Arkansas second life. The same way I wouldn't want to give LSU second life. They shouldn't have made it out of their regional, to be honest with you. Well, I'm not going to say they shouldn't. But, yeah, I mean, it was a ride to get here, which it usually is. This is going to be good baseball today, man. I can't wait to see it. I'm going to pull up the weather. What we got going on soccer today, man?
Well, we got some Club World Cup. I mean, these are some difficult matches. We've seen these matches so far. You'll have EXG of around 3, and it could end at 4-0. It could end at 0-0. We've just seen very difficult matches to predict. Teams will score, then they'll sit back. Some teams will keep going, some teams won't. A lot of times, teams won't score solely because VAR or one moment changed that decisive moment. These type of fixtures are just very little possibility for wiggle room. You'll have one decision decide what your bet is. So just be careful. We're going to see these matches today, and then maybe we'll look to attack these second round matches after these teams have got their legs underneath, as well as have a clear idea of what they need to achieve in round 2 or the second match in order to set themselves up for that third match in whatever scenario is best for them. So I'm going to be continuing to look for these matches live. And then I want to talk about this Norway 1 first division that I highlighted today, and we have a pick in. We had questions in the chat. Do you want to play the both teams to score in this match? Why are you playing the over 2.5 versus both teams to score? Well, it's this specific league is a bit difficult. Both numbers are essentially trending pretty similar to one another. You've got both teams to score trending about 76%. Over 2.5 is trending, 69%? I have it down here. I need to click this in here. 69%, excuse me. You got over 2.5. When both teams to score is hitting, trending at that 78% mark. So you're looking at both teams to score. If you think both teams to score is going to come in, over 2.5 is likely going to come in. And then also, if you think over 2.5 is going to come in, well, in 78% of those over 2.5 matches, you'll most likely see one team hit that 3-goal mark, which is another reason why we're pushing that over 2.75 versus any type of both teams to score over 2.5 parlay. Because a lot of times in this league, teams are shooting the over by themselves. You will get a lot of those BTTS, but that over 2.5 is still that correlating figure. And then over 3.5 is coming in 66% of those over 2.5s. So it's a little bit like a step ladder. If you think both teams' score is going to come in, it looks like over 2.5 is going to come in. If it looks like over 2.5 is going to come in, there's a good chance of over 3.5. So pay attention to this Norway League live. There's great opportunity live. The entire league is playing today, all matches in action this afternoon at 12 o'clock. So pay attention to Norway. Pay attention to a few other leagues. There's Finland in action all day today. Well, it's not trending in the same way that this Norwegian league is. It used to. It was last season, but it hasn't to start this season. And that's very, very important. You don't want to get caught up in a lot of mess. We're still dealing with these legs getting back into their teams. This first match we saw this past weekend, you got Norway coming back, but you even have the top flight of Norway coming back this weekend. You'll have MLS coming back next weekend, and then other leagues coming back as well. So we'll still see a lot of parity within these matches coming up, just solely because we haven't had a lot of consistency in the schedule. When we get that consistency, there will be less variables, and that's when we will look to increase our total bets. So that's what's going on in the world of football. Keep it simple, keep it light. It's not the time to go hard.
You have let out so many good t-shirt ideas. I was laughing at the one. What are we gonna do about these legs? Lieutenant Dan, your legs. Damn it, Gump. Oh, that was a great movie. Mel's. Look at Melanie in the chat. Sweet Mel's. Let's hit that like button for our gracious host. AB needs some Taco Bell. There we go. I can't do it as good as Brad. Brad, you've got it down. Yeah. See, it's the slow start. That's what it is. You start slow, and then you let it rip. Oh, look at Mel.
Yeah, you got to get control back on.
Yeah, see, you've got it. You've got like the rock with it too. Melanie sent us a $1.99 super chat. Add guac. Aw. Melanie, you're the best. All right, weather. You ready to do some weather together, Trevor? That was back from the Saved by the Bell, the Rigmas. All right. Real important guys making a stand. All right. And they had jackets. Don't.
Yo, shout out Zach Morris.
Oh, was there anybody that was cooler? Like
maybe Ace Slater. Maybe.
Yeah.
But they're.
So all right. Let's be. I'm pulling up weather, but let's be honest. Zach held his own in that fight between him and Slater. but he was kind of lucky and he was kind of smart. All right, Slater could have tuned him up right there. Like Slater ain't one to mess with, right? But he was smart. Zach was smart to get in tight. All right. Now you're playing with fire because he's also, wrestling is his thing. All right. So it's like Shawn Michaels grabbing Bret Hart. That ain't where you want to be. Bret Hart tune your ass up from right there. All right. It's mechanical. All right. So Zach was smart. He threw the punch. All right. And then he brought it in. All right. And then you do kind of the wrestle around to where you're like, all right, look, I got the shot in. I hit him. I'm going to do this for a little bit. He'll tire out. People will break us up. And I won the fight. I'm good to go. It's running the football in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? That's what it's the fourth quarter running the football of fighting. You just, all right, stick him, grab him, move around. All right, anyways. Wait, however, AC did want to wrestle at Iowa. I think everyone does. Iowa's like the best ever, right? Yeah. Got Iowa. For males. All right. Sorry, I don't know where we were going. Weather. We started talking about that fight. Dude, did you know Mr. Belding, do you know he's from Chattanooga? He went to Chattanooga? UTC?
I didn't know that.
Look it up. Mr. Belding. He was a Kappa Sig. A to B, bro. Yeah.
Shout out the old Big Bopper, baby. Big Bopper Belding.
Hey, what is... Dude, Belding was awesome. I was a Belding guy.
Whole show, man.
Oh, yeah. Dude, Rod Belding? You remember Rod Belding when he was going to take the kids on that whitewater rafting trip that he screwed him over because he met a flight attendant? Oh, my God.
What a show.
Oh, it's the best.
Did you watch Salute Your Shorts?
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's from a past life. Like, not a lot of people remember Salute Your Shorts with the the oatmeal bath. Man, that changed my life.
Dude, game changer. Dude, that one and like Are You Afraid of the Dark?
That.
Are You Afraid of the Dark was classic. Like those are the classic. Snick. Rod Belding. What a heat check. Dude, he was a heat check. Oh, dude, Rod came in. Dude, throwing gas. That's all he knows. You can't do that on television. Yeah, I remember that show. The things would break.
Camp Wanna. Shout out, Belding.
No, I liked it. All right, let me get weather up here. I've been promising to do that. All right. So, like I said, we can't get these slides loaded, but we can damn sure have fun. Yeah, donkey lips. It was donkey lips. All right. Forward to the screen, remove other media. What? Oh, there we go. Sorry. Blame the producer, dude. He sucks. All right. So let's do weather together, Trevor. All right. So Omaha, Nebraska. Let me zoom in a little more. Dude, what about Danny yesterday from LaPorte City, Iowa? Oh my God. That was fun. Okay. So we've got 6 mile an hour winds. Let me move this around. Come on, Council Bluff. Council Bluffs. All right. 6 mile an hour winds. Hope everybody can see this here. This is for the day game today. Miss Bliss. Oh, Miss Bliss was the GOAT. All right. So this is Omaha. This is the first game today. 6 mile an hour winds blowing north. All right. So let me show you this. Let me zoom in a little more. Oh, don't want that. Keep it blue. No. All right, there we go. All right. So you'll see 6 miles an hour north. All right. So what north means is, and you'll see this across all weather, um, charts and whatnot, right? So you see it says 6 miles an hour north. Well, it's blowing south, right? But they listed as where it's coming from. So if you ever look at it and you say 6 miles an hour north, and you see the wind blowing south, right? Yeah, it's coming from the north. So what that means with the stadium and the direction, all right, the stadium faces a south-southeast angle here. So that means that this wind, which is not much of anything anyway, is blowing from basically left field foul pole to the right field foul pole, if that makes sense, right? That's where your wind is blowing. Now, your temperature, and look, we use windy.com. I think it's the best weather feature out there. All right, 77 degrees. Today, not bad at all. Rain and thunder. All right, we don't have any thunder, right? We've got 0.03 chance, or we've got chance of 0.03 inches of rain. So really nothing. I mean, let's take a look here at 2 o'clock. All right, it's going up. All right, we're fine. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so that is the temperature. What is the humidity? I'm sure everyone's loving doing this live, but yes, this is how you can do it yourself. 69% humidity. So you can see, let me zoom out here. You see where your humidity is kind of across the Midwest there today. All right. So right there, 69% humidity, which is great. Absolute great. Now, that's for the day game today, which is Louisville and Coastal Carolina. Let's jump this to tonight and look at the humidity jump. 76%. How's it going throughout the game? Beautiful, not moving. 76% humidity tonight. Rain and thunder. Yep, was going to say. Gonna have some rain issues tonight, possibly. So be careful here. You've got thunder, which means you've got lightning in the area, which could be a problem. Let's track this storm here and see exactly what it's looking like through the day. All right, so first game should be good. Second game should be fine. Just pay attention to lightning strikes in the area, but we're all right. I actually don't mind the humidity out here. Okay. All right. So 76% humidity, wind, 10 miles an hour to the north. So left-handed dudes. That, like, it's not even really for home runs, the weather, or at least the humidity here. It's for hitting in the gaps. Yeah. KC3, the wind direction has always confused me. It makes sense if it says north that the direction it's going towards. Yes, I agree, right? What he's talking about, we were just saying it, right? So you see the wind and you can see it moving on screen. All right. And it's 10 miles an hour north, meaning it comes from the north, not the direction that it's going. Even though KC3, I agree with you on that, right? Justin, does humidity effect cancel out if there's light percent? No. That's like that's what you want. That's what you want, right? Like you don't want the heavy rain that's going to stay and last and dissipate all of it and just kill it. But no, for sure. You want light rain. It's what drives it. Okay, so 10 miles an hour. Blowing from left field to right. We'll do it one more time. Rain. Got a chance of thunder. 73 degrees. 76% humidity. Okay. Beautiful. All right, there we go. There we go. Brad. All right. Yeah, I'll have to do Major League Baseball right after this. I apologize. Just can't get anything loaded, man. Any final thoughts, buddy, before we get out of here?
Just
Let me put
got
the picture
one
back up.
thought for today's Club World Cup. Those people who are looking at it, Kylian Mbappe, arguably the best striker in the world, the best player on Real Madrid, under a new coach, Xabi Alonso, unsure how the entire lineup is going today against Al Hilal, who has some players that have been gifted by some other teams. Very, very difficult matchup. Before you place any bet on anything Real Madrid, you got to make sure Kylian Mbappe is in that lineup today. If not, I'd hold off.
Kylian Mbappe. That's a great last name, Mbappe.
It is.
It's good, man.
Absolute stud.
Mm-hmm. Tizzle. All right, got to lean on the winner of the late game. Yeah, so I think Arkansas wins. I think Arkansas wins. And I think Coastal wins. God, I'm so fascinated. Dude, Z-Money, you on the over 10.5 for the TJ McConnell again? Yes. Dude, that bet has been just grease fire, baby. It ain't stopping. TJ McConnell over on points has been money. McConnell's got that old school white guard shot, right? Like, yes, like, dude, like it was formed at like the Lipscomb camp, summer after summer after summer. That dude went to the Lipscomb camp, and that's what he got down on. And that sounded negative. Like, look, I was saying Lipscomb because they always held all the camps, right? Like when we were kids, like Lipscomb always had the soccer camps, they had the baseball camps, they had basketball. Like, I say that as a positive. Like, they do a good thing. Like, they're always doing stuff for camps and stuff. But that's why I said it, because it was always at Lipscomb constantly. He's the LeBron James of Matthew Dellavedova.
God. Shout out Delhi, man. Shout out
Delhi. Dude, that was your guy.
Oh, dude, he carried. I mean, that championship that season, he about died on the court. I mean, there wasn't a lot of people playing. He was one of the very few that was getting in, and he was diving everywhere. I mean, he had to be carried off one of those matches.
Oh, sorry. He did. He did. Delhi. Big Jeff in here. Got here just in time to say, hey, AB. Big Jeff, good to see you, buddy. Magato said, who the hell is Alex Caruso? Dude. McConnell has got that form down. Dude, it's awesome. Tizzle, you give me PTSD with these delayed references. Yeah, and apologies for anybody looking for Major League Baseball. The crew play of the day. The problem is the software that we use. All right, so we use Google, Slides, Docs, et cetera, et cetera. And we also use a company called StreamYard. Now, I'm not being negative on either of them. I mean, who the hell would I like? These people are intelligent. But their software does not work well with each other. And you have Google, who's like the industry. I mean, just it's Google, right? It's the standard for everything. And then you've got StreamYard, right? And StreamYard has jumped themselves up huge in who they are. I mean, they are a leading company in streaming. What I'm getting at is StreamYard. You're going to have to adapt to Google. We all do. YouTube did. Google paid for them with cash. Not a cheap purchase. All right. So, yeah. Come on, StreamYard. Come on, baby. Come on now. Come on. All right. 2 strikes. All right. You got to choke up. All right. Grit and rip. I don't care if you hit a dribbler back to the pitcher. Just don't strike out. Let me talk about this for a second too. So, like I said, I'll have Major League Baseball right after this show. I want to talk about one more thing. Before we go. And yesterday, and it almost it did cost Oregon State. I can't tell you. Oregon State's out, by the way. Louisville put them out. And I'll tell you why. Oregon State would get runners on base every inning. First and second, no outs. Both of these are real. Bases loaded, no outs. All right. So they have bases loaded, no outs. They end up, I think, walked a guy in. Okay. So this is Oregon State at the plate. They've got bases loaded, no outs. This is yesterday. Louisville walks a guy in or something. 1-0. Nothing. Nothing like strikeout. What I'm getting at is that if you have no outs and you have 2 runners on base minimum, you cannot strike out. It's a killer. I don't care. Look, here's the scenario. Bases loaded, no outs. There you go. That guy that's at the plate, okay, 0-0. Bases loaded, no outs, 0-0. Let's just say first inning. We're just making this scenario up. Okay? So, Brad, you're on base. You're on second. And I'm coming to the plate. I cannot strike out. Tizzle got it right there. Yelling, TV, put the damn ball in play. Yes. Oh, my God. So, okay, I'll get to it. Oregon State just constantly they would go from bases loaded, no outs, to bases loaded, 2 outs. Because they would have 2 straight strikeouts. And I don't care if you hit into a double play 3 straight innings in that scenario. I don't care. Why? Because it's going to score a run, first off. And second, it's baseball. Get the ball in play. Like, it'll eventually find it. It's like water. It'll eventually find its way. It'll find a hole. Just put it in play. But when I don't care if you fly out. It's still a sac fly. Doesn't even count as an at bat. Like, there's so many scenarios that you could score a run. If you have no outs, I don't care if you hit into a double play. Still there?
Yeah, still here. It's spinning. Sometimes it's just like goes in and out if you're spinning. I can't see you, but I can see you're spinning.
I don't know what just happened. I think Google took us out. Hold on. Yeah, I can't see anything. Hold on. This is not good for being live when you can't. My entire.
Oh, no, I think we lost him. All right, so let me talk about this Club World Cup while we're waiting for AB. It's a pretty difficult one. So there was a question in the chat. Man City today taking on Casablanca out of Morocco. I don't know what's going to happen. I imagine Pep Guardiola is going to play some serious possessive ball. He's going to possess them to death, look to tire them out, at least for the first 45 plus. If Morocco chooses to sit in deep, they'll probably continue to sit in deep until Man City find a goal. if they're struggling, Man City, to find that goal, Morocco not going anywhere. But if there's a little bit of counter attempt possibility, look for them to take it real quick and then get right back into their defensive shape. That's what I expect to see. That's probably the best way you would expect somebody to play a Pep Guardiola's Man City. There's a couple other games as well. We got that Real Madrid Al Hilal. That should be nice and open, but we need to wait on those lineups to see who's playing. And then that Pachuca Salzburg match. Salzburg, very, very open type of team. They consistently produce goals. But these Mexican teams out of Mexico, Liga MX, they can be pretty difficult. They tend to know how to play competition that is well above the competition that they play at normally. And you saw that yesterday. So we will keep an eye on that. But I expect some goals today, if any of these matches in the first round could have goals. Today might be that match we see some open football.
Nice. My look, I guess StreamYard took me down. Justin says StreamYard turned AB into humidity. See, can't even speak out anymore, dude. I came back in and you were saying something about the Mexican team. What was the quote? It was like, I can't remember the quote that you just said. It was something fantastic.
Man, these Mexican teams, they're just not scared. They love to play above their competition. Yeah. It's actually pretty insane at just how well they play some of these teams. Just really impressed with the Liga MX versus the MLS. That's for sure.
There we go. Yeah. It was like it came back in and it just immediately, it was like, these Mexicans ain't scared. And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
A little bit of racism here on DTL.
Started off. I was like, okay. Damn Mexicans ain't scared. I like it. All right. We'll get out of here for any more trouble. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. So winners today. Okay. First one, Coastal Carolina and Louisville. Who do we think wins? Who you going with?
Wow. Gotta ride the boys from the coast.
Yep. I think so too. Although they're back. They're going to have their bats going today. All right. And then the monster one tonight, LSU and Arkansas. Who do you think wins? It's hard.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go LSU just solely based on the fact that LSU is just one of those teams, one of those schools that has just been there and done that over and over again. I'm taking LSU.
Hell, they invented it. Them boys won some titles down there.
The old Bayou.
Yeah. But yeah, this is great baseball because this is, how do I explain it? Like, it's going to be very fundamental. It's going to be very just baseball based on the field of, let's catch fly balls. Let's field ground balls. Let's not beat ourselves. Let's play clean baseball today. Big Robert Bibbo gifted 5 DTL memberships. Robert, thank you. See enough. You are the man, Robert. Thank you. Obby's going LSU Coastal Moneyline Parlay. Okay.
Let's go, Obby. You and me, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. Clean baseball today. But watch Coastal and watch LSU because they have arms and bullpen to play with. Louisville and Arkansas, it's just all hands on deck. We need everybody. Everybody, we need you, right? And Freddie, I'll have to do baseball right after this. I'll record a show real quick and get it up. I unfortunately couldn't get any I couldn't get any of the slides up. Couldn't get any of it. So Freddie, I got you. Hang tight, my boy. I'll get it right after the show. Yeah. StreamYard and Google, they're just not compatible. All right, I'm sorry, what was I saying? Pitching. So Coastal and LSU, they could play around a little bit because again, they have a game that they could lose. But man, you don't want to lose that game though. Like, I, like if you're Coastal, I think that this applies. I think this applies more for LSU because I think Coastal could lose today, come back tomorrow, and just overwhelm you with starting pitching. I mean, just everybody's coming out of the gate, right? Like I am loading every missile that I have, and I'm shooting it at you. Like, do not think that I'm not firing all of them. So I think that Louisville could win today and Coastal could win tomorrow. And not that LSU can't, but what I'm saying is that LSU is playing with fire. And it's not their fault, right? Like, that's what I love about baseball is that you're going to have to put these teams out. And you're probably going to have to do it yourself. So,
do teams play better when they have nothing to lose? Like, I feel like with
yes.
Coastal, they're almost playing with borrowed money, right? They are in a place that they aren't in very often. So if they're here now, it's kind of just relaxed ball, would you say?
Yeah. So, okay, you bring up a good point. Watch it because it could play well into it. So, finishing what I was about to say is that LSU, like Arkansas is the danger tomorrow. LSU is the danger today because of what you just said. All right. LSU could play relaxed how they've been playing, and they're beating everyone. Like, if LSU comes out and plays relaxed, aggressive baseball like they have been playing, but just don't beat themselves. Look, my boy Justin in the chat said it. It's okay to be wrong. LSU, but like LSU could win by 20 today or tomorrow. But like with the point that I'm getting at is that use it. If you're LSU, score early, wear on Arkansas's pitching, right? Force them to have to go to the bullpen and go to the bullpen and go to the bullpen. And LSU can accomplish that by scoring runs, but also driving the pitch count up. We don't talk about it a lot here, but watch for LSU early. Like, they're always aggressive at the plate, but watch for them to watch an extra pitch or two. Right? Because the big advantage that you have if you're LSU or you're Coastal is that you're fresh. You have a game that you could play with. You have pitchers that you could choose from. You're good. You're as good as it could be, like with anything. And you want to, and the other team is the opposite. And you want to wear on them. Like if you play poker, you know how the guy, like if you've got 5 people at a table and one guy's got 80% of the chips, it's tough to beat that guy in hands because he could just wear on you. Like he could put you all in at any moment. And that's kind of that's where LSU is in this game. They're going to try to get runs early. That's why I like the overs, because LSU is going to say, all right, we're just going to mash you. And if they do, they won't stop. And that's for both teams. This is both of these 2-0 and 2-1 games. These are both very dangerous areas for blowouts. We talk about like, what was it? Closeout games in NBA playoffs. They've all been blowouts. This is an elimination game, right? Like it is ripe for one team to come out. like how we saw in the Super Regionals. It felt like every single one of those game threes one team just scored 7 runs in the first inning. These 2 games today have that. LSU could absolutely do that. LSU could put Arkansas out of this game in the first inning, and it would not surprise me, right? But yeah, like I'm fascinated with him. All right, sorry. Yeah. Let's see. Weber. What Ian would pitch again after the late of the night? He didn't come back out. He's there, and that's a great question. So if you're LSU or you're Coastal, you've got decisions that you can make. You know what I mean? So you've got guys that you could say, all right, do I pitch them in game 1? Like, I'll use this example. 2 years ago, when LSU won the national championship, they were playing Florida in the championship series, okay? Well, they had Paul Skeens, in the last game, like the elimination, the title game of the title series, right? And they had Paul Skeens for some innings, but it wasn't a fresh start. Like, he had pitched, days before, whatever. But anyways, LSU looked at it and said, all right, excuse me. LSU said, we think we could get a lead on you. We're going to start our closer. And Paul Skeens, our number 1 ace, is going to be our closer. Because the minute that we get up on you early in this game, here comes the train. And and party time's over. So we just need to get a lead. 2-0, I think is what it and anyway. So like you've got options here to where if you're LSU or Coastal, you could cut the throat today. If LSU wins, Arkansas's gone. If Coastal wins, Louisville's gone. So today is great baseball. Great baseball, man. Because you're going to see some tomorrow baseball will be clown gift, just that gif of the clown coming out on stage, just madness. You don't know what the hell is going to go on. I like doing that. Like the wacky inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
He said it like 5 times, and then he says his name. Then he's like, I'm Al Harrington of Wacky Inflatable Arm Flailing Tube Man.
It's a great episode.
Oh, it's a great show. Like, Family Guy was so well written. It was out of control at times. But, it was good. All right, we've got an hour with no slides. And I appreciate all of you. And look, let me say this too. I appreciate all of you dealing with it feels like it's constant issues. And it is, and it's not our fault. And I appreciate you guys understanding. And just sticking with it, man. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. And I say I mean, us, all of thank you. It's frustrating. Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah. Al Harrington's a wacky waving. God, I can't talk. Wacky waving arm flailing inflatable tube. What a ridiculous description. I tell you, I heard a crazy description. Look, okay, we'll end it on this. Not going down this road, but I was informed of this person named Teal Swan. Are you familiar with who she is?
That's another one of those auto-created names.
It's wild. All right. Now, we're not plugging her. But the question is, does she run a cult? Yeah. That's the conversation that we're having. It's a YouTube creator. Okay. But I was laughing at, you want to talk about preposterous, and what I'm getting at is this description. Al Harrington's wacky waving arm flailing inflatable tube. That's just hard to say. But okay. I heard this Teal Swan. She said, I'm too attractive to be wrong. And I heard that phrase and I was like, yeah, that face right there. It was the most preposterous sentence I've ever heard. But it was so preposterous that I was laughing my head off. She wasn't laughing. She was very serious about it, which is ridiculous, right? But it's one of the most ridiculous sentences that I've ever heard. And literally, I texted Melanie and I was like, what is this? Oh my God. But yeah. What'd you say? Sorry.
Teal Swan. Just thinking of all these names lately, I'm like, this is people probably think this is auto-created, generated.
I know. Not Dot McCall, boy. Dot McCall loved you. She loves some Brad Betts. I think we just got put in with the Teal Swan algorithm. Tizzle, sounds like a name you'd find. Sounds like a name you'd find at your local strip club, selling a buffet to get you in the door. Randall Mims would come for that buffet. He would go, I promise you, and eat and leave. Where's Randall? He needs to be in the chat. He would absolutely go. Okay. All right, we'll get out of here. Brad, well done. Well done, buddy. Melody said, sorry, I introduced him to the documentary. Bro, she said, I'm too attractive to be wrong. And she was talking about heavy stuff. Wild, man. What a name. Teal Swan. Dot McCall.
Billy Jack
Jones Jr.
Billy Jack from Bucksnort, baby.
Bucksnort. Real town. Right off I-40. Strip club buffet. Oh my God. Deja Vu had a decent one here in Nashville back in the day. Bro.
Shout out to Deja Vu. Shout out to Christie's. Shout out to all of them.
So, yep. So, all right. Deja Vu.
Baby Billy. Shout out, Melody.
Yeah.
Baby Billy's Bible Bunkers. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Jim Stelz?
Yes.
Oh, I say that to my wife every single day. I can't get it out of my head.
I can't get it out of my head. Yeah, you said Christie's. Deja Vu, they sold out. They sold that land quick.
Yeah, they say you can have an apartment complex here.
Smart. Very smart. And then the rest of them are all on Church Street.
It's weird because Gay Street intersects with Church Street, but all of the gay clubs are on Church Street and all the churches are on Gay Street. It's Nashville.
They are.
And they're like right next to each other. It's just
yep. You know what's good? That Crystals that's back there.
Oh God.
Yeah. There's a Crystal tucked in. It's right over by Vanderbilt. Right? So yeah. Dude. That Crystals and then Jack's barbecue.
Yeah. Jim and Nick's or Jack's?
Jack's. But yeah. Jim and Nick's is good too. Justin said Nashville got a dystopia going on. Oh, yeah. Nashville's crazy town.
Yeah.
It's insanity.
You wouldn't even believe what it was like back in 2009, 2008 and prior.
Oh. People, dude, there used to be like clubs on 2nd Avenue.
Second half, yeah. Up, second level, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I was in the building. All right, so you remember the Christmas Day bombing?
Oh yeah, I at that time I was living in a condo half of a mile north.
Were you really? Yeah.
Bomb. Yeah, I heard it.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
So the CBS building is right beside it. That AT&T building, right?
That's where it's targeted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was like we couldn't go to work, because it was like, is it going to happen again? I was like, I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Yeah, he's long gone.
Yeah. Yeah. This guy, though, all right, one more quick story. So if anybody's wondering what the hell we're talking about, look up Christmas Day, Nashville, the bombing. So this guy attacked the AT&T building downtown, believing that there was frogmen and 10G, like
He was trying
go
to
through
take down the cell tower.
yeah, go down the list of all of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting, though, because he was just a local redneck guy.
Yep.
In Antioch. So this guy for a year builds bombs in this RV in Nashville. Okay. And he builds a camera system and then recordings. The guy sat down and did edited audio recordings. All right. And it was like every time somebody would, and he chose Christmas Day because it would be the least trafficked day. He didn't want to hurt anybody, and he didn't. That's the crazy thing. No one got hurt, not even killed. No one got hurt because he was playing this message of get out of here, get out of here. You know what I mean?
That was one of the creepiest.
Oh, yeah. And that's what I was going to say, is because he had different messages that he had recorded. So he was in the RV on the middle of 2nd Avenue, and he's got cameras and he can see, and he's playing this, of there is danger, exit, within 20 minutes, and people were, it's 3 a.m. on Christmas morning, right? On 2nd Avenue. And anyways, people are getting up, and Metro Police are going like crazy, because there's not a lot of people that live on it, but there's enough that live on it. And it's all built inside of old buildings. So anyways, so he had multiple recordings that if somebody would get near the RV, it would change. And it went from like this like kind of friendly of like, get out of here, to you need to get it. I mean, it was weird. This is the weirdest thing of all time. But anyways, like, yeah, there's a deep bag of wild stories here, DTO. Yeah. So anyways, this guy ended up, he blew it up. He blew himself up, but he waited until literally everyone was gone. And you could watch the video on YouTube, weirdly enough. And anyway, so that street, didn't mean to sidebar there. That street used to be, 2nd Avenue was where everybody went. And now, like, I mean, it was already moving off of that before.
It was graduating, because most people don't even realize that all we had was Printer's Alley. So if you ever been to Printer's Alley, it's not very big. And that was originally Nashville.
What was that bar? Oh, man.
Miss Kelly's?
Yes.
Still there.
Miss Kelly's.
Give me some karaoke. Yeah, the OG.
Dude, the OG. Oh, my God. John Eccles caught hella fish at a Bucksnort trout farm. That sentence 100% checks out. I absolutely love it. Dude, I love fishing. Do you like fishing?
Too slow for me.
Yeah.
I got too much going on in here. I need soccer is almost too slow for me as well. So
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
If I didn't know the game as well, I probably wouldn't enjoy it, because I'm thinking about different patterns while the slowness is playing out, preemptively guessing on what that next possession is going to look like, the next pass, shot, how they're going to attempt to go forward. So that's probably why I can keep it. But I struggle with golf and baseball and a lot of the others.
Yeah, no. I look, what you're saying is what every television executive on planet Earth is saying. Look, because what all of us are doing, and I mean, driving the line, ESPN, You couldn't get two completely different sized entities, right? The same conversation we're having is the same conversation they're having. I've been in it. I've been in huge level meetings at CBS, right? But hell, I still get credited in gifts for working on Super Bowl teams, right? And I'm not saying that about me. What I'm saying is that I've seen these meetings, and what you just said is that, dude, it's all about time. Like, baseball, golf, like these sports of what you just broke down of talking about it's too slow. It's too, that's a real thing that these people they're talking about every single day. Melanie said it surprises me that you could sit still that long, AP. I know, there are pockets of things that I could do. Fishing is one of them. I could go fishing every day. I would enjoy it completely. I absolutely love fishing. I love it. AB, if you're ever on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, hit me up. We'll take the boat. Please. I will immediately. And
dude. Yeah, shout out to Gulfport, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah. I flew out of Gulfport, Mississippi when I was 12. We hit a bird, had to make an emergency landing. Never been the same since then. Haven't been back to Mississippi.
Haven't been. What's that from?
I don't know.
Oh, did you just make that up?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I thought, dude, you ripped that. I thought that came from like a movie or something. Oh, that's funny. It was well done. Yeah, Seth, I'll hit you up. I love fishing. Like it, dude. We could go ocean, deep sea fishing. You can throw me in a stock pond in somebody's name, in the governor's club. You're like, oh, we got white trash fishing up here at the front again. White trash alert. Hey, I'm just a kid.
Got that ugly orange on.
Yeah. He's saying he's a kid. Yeah. He's digging for worms. Like,
somebody said he was drinking Propel. I don't know. Propel. Allegedly.
He's trying to catch fish with the Propel bottles. He's spraying
got a cooler full of Propel. He bought him in the 90s. He's just been hanging on to him ever since.
A cooler full of Propel. Oh my God. You know what? We're going to end it on that one. If anybody wants to listen to radio, all right, I'm doing a radio show in 8 minutes. We do it every Wednesday. It's on WNSR Brentwood. All right. Yeah, I've got the thing down. 1025 Central. The WNSR Brentwood, even though it's not in Brentwood. It's off of Nolensville. I guess it's kind of Brentwood. Brentioch. That just doesn't have the same ring, does it?
Yeah, don't let them tell you that. Don't let anybody tell you they're in Brentwood when they're not.
LA face with an Oakland booty. All right. We'll end it on that. And it's been a great show. All right. Yeah. 1025 on WNSR. I want to be one of those people that does that voice. Right. XJIV traffic. I need a family. People used to ask me that at like Christmas and stuff. They're like, so you're just gonna yell takes at the internet and not get married?
You know what people are starting to call it? I'm just raw dogging life. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That doesn't apply here.
Mom, don't say that. Yeah.
Like that thing they call when you take a flight and you don't listen to any headphones. They're calling that you just raw dog.
Oh, no. Yeah. What do they call it? They call it they call it being a serial killer. I am.
The original Raw Dog came from Seinfeld. It was Putty. I don't know if you watched
Oh
Seinfeld.
yeah.
He was
Stole my
staring at
G.
that seat in front of him. I mean, that's OG. That's early 90s Larry
Oh,
David.
she's
Oh
just
my
looking
God.
at him like, you're just gonna sit there and stare.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this: whenever I fly in a plane, I make it unbelievably established that, how you doing? Hey, good to see you. Like, we're gonna be unbelievably pleasant, and if you need anything, you let me know. But the headphones are on. All right, I'm looking at the screen. Like, yeah, if you don't need me, I'd greatly appreciate it if no one talked to me. If you need
Don't
something,
even
holler.
wake me up. Don't wake me up for a drink. If I want a drink,
I don't want. Well, yeah,
I'm looking at you, right? Otherwise, don't touch me. Leave me alone. I'm sleeping. That's my pet peeve on flights. Is they
100%.
just,
Nope.
excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you know how long it took me to get to sleep?
Yeah. I know. Z-Buddy said the Seinfeld episode of Kramer horse betting. Yes.
Oh my God, Rusty.
Yeah, dude, and then he turned it into they were betting on planes that would arrive.
Yes, they're the departure versus arrival time. Oh my God.
And he was betting that Texan.
Classic episode.
Yeah. And he was betting the serial killer's mailbag. Oh my God. But yeah, I'm like, look, if you need anything, I'll get up the aisle and fight a criminal for you. Take a couple war wounds. But if you don't need anything, I'd like it established that I'm trying to just, even if I have to put my head on the disgusting interior cabin of an airplane. You ever seen anybody use the sky pillow? That big triangle wedge?
Oof. I don't know who's been touching that.
Dude. Like, and you just like go into it.
Good neck pillow.
Yeah. I use those in the car. Let me go ahead and give you a life hack. If you don't have a great like neck support piece on in your vehicle, go get a firm neck brace, like not neck brace, but like, neck pillow, like for an airplane or something, and it'll have a strap on the back. Strap it on the top part of in your car.
Mm-hmm.
I assure you, get that thing adjusted to the size of your head, neck, whatever.
Next thing we're gonna have to do is get you one of those staircase chairlift things where you just
those are great.
Roll up. I can see you with that too,
bro. Hey, and you just
yeah,
chilling. Oh, dude, and you just sit. You're just like, okay.
Those are gold.
Oh yeah. They're going to call this radio like this. Everybody say, yeah, this could be the longest Driving the Line episode of all time. I think it is.
This show is actually going to feature in YouTube's about section, not the sports section, because it's 95% just random.
Yeah. Oh, completely random. That's why ad companies are like, no, they all love the show because they're like, this is the most positive community that we've ever seen. I swear to God, that's the first thing everyone says. They're like, this is the most positive community I've ever. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, oh. She's like, normally we have to fight to get the chats out of here. Because she's like, oh, it delves into politics in about 6 seconds. I said, yeah, I'm sure that's an exciting time for everybody. Like, I can't wait. Every day I wake up, going to war, like we're yelling at people online. Let's go. This radio station might be calling. Hold on. Hey, talk to them. Talk to our friends here about anything soccer. I don't know.
I mean, I can. I got backup for days.
Yeah, go ahead and let it rip.
Yeah, let's see what's going on today. Throw down. I mean, there's some Latvia action. There's some Iraq action, some lower Norwegian action, some South Korean action already ended. The Swedish Cup's pretty high flying. But today, keep it simple. I would look at this UCL match or USL League One. There's three levels of American football right now. You've got the MLS, you've got the USL Championship, and then you got USL League One. Third tier American football. They score a little bit more than some of the other leagues because there's just not as much at stake. There's a team called Westchester SC. They are a high flyer. Problem is they're playing a forward Madison team at home who's not a big time scorer. Other than that, we got the Gold Cup. The Gold Cup's been absolutely flying. There's been goals left and right, especially when there's a big parity in the teams. If you've got United States taking on like a Cayman Islands or Mexico taking on a Suriname, maybe there's a really good chance that you're going to see a lot of goals in those matches. But let's just talk about this Club World Cup. It's just been such a difficult tournament, right? So you'll have a bunch of shots, a bunch of EXG on either side. You'll have very few opportunities that are absolute gold. And if those opportunities have something happen within the buildup, those will be gone based on VAR. And when you have such small margins like it is in the Club World Cup, it just may not be something that you want to attack pre-match. A lot of times these matches will actually go one of two ways. You'll start out really fast, get a team to come out, score a couple goals, and then try and sit in deep, or come out really slow and then build your play, get your opportunity, hit them, and then sit back. So it's very difficult football. It's not like league play. It's not like any other tournament type of fixture. Mostly because, like a Chelsea, we saw the other day against LAFC, Chelsea, much better team, had all the possession, but it was just so easy that they didn't have to overextend. When you don't have to overextend, sometimes you just want to play around and to waste some time. And you'll see that in some sport like this one. Not a lot of other sports can have this type. It's run and gun, back and forth. Everybody's got an opportunity, but not in football. Nobody has an opportunity if you have the ball. And that's what I expect to see with Man City today. I don't expect to see that with Real Madrid because that's not their style of team, but it all depends on who's in that lineup. Al Ain coming in, taking on a Juventus. I think that could be a very open match as well. There could be a lot of goals today, but I'm really apprehensive with this tournament so far because you just see such a differentiation in score lines with the exact same type of gameplay, shot count, expected goal count, and all of it. So just be careful. Know that these bets could go one of two ways, and it's not even really up to you. Sometimes it just can be out of your control. Other than that, what do we have to look forward to? You got no MLS this weekend. You're going to have it next Wednesday. You have Norwegian top flight football coming in this weekend. The following weekend, we'll have a few other leagues start to come back with regularity. We'll have that summer continuing to start to kick off with these leagues. MLS has been absolutely popping, as you've seen. It's not a both teams to score league. It's an over 2.5 league. I think it's 31 of the last 34 both teams to score have actually hit over 2.5 goals. So when you're watching the MLS, know that there's a really good chance that one team is going to get the better of the other team. And when one team scores in football, most people think that it's a much better opportunity for the next team to equalize. It's actually not the case. There's a higher probability for a team to go and get that second goal before a team comes and equalizes. So what does that mean? It means if you're looking at a both teams to score or an over 2.5 goals, if it's a league that hits 2 goals prior to the both teams to score, there's no reason for you to look at a both teams to score. You want to look at that over 2.5 because you'll get not only a better number, but you'll be able to hit it with a little bit less sweat when that second goal comes in for one squad. So that's how I would attack those live. I don't know what happened to AB, nor do I know what to talk about next. I've pretty much exhausted all of it. We have the U21 Euros that are going on right now. Really, really high scoring. Let me pull up this list because there's a few specific table. So there's this table, there's A, B, C, and D, and some of them score better than the others. Today, we have a couple teams that are perfect through the first two matches. You've got Denmark, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals, 2-0. You also have the Netherlands, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. They're in action today. So those are probably teams you want to look at. Now, Millie, stop. My puppy is going crazy. Then you also have teams like Czechoslovakia, who's hit both teams to score 2-0. Now they have weak competition, but they're playing a Slovakia team who has hit both teams to score in 0 of 2. So that's a difficult match. I don't really necessarily know what is going on. Shout out to the people who tailed PSG going back to the Club World Cup. PSG at plus 400 on Monday is now down to plus 280 on most books. So a lot of closing value in 2 days. Should continue to take that closing value the next couple rounds, giving you an opportunity to either bet against it or cash out for plus money. I mean, that's just a great line to get a Paris Saint-Germain squad, who is the best team in the world right now, and also is playing well in form and has all of their players coming in with an easy round toward the final. So you want to take these teams who have good opportunities in this, unlike a Real Madrid who's playing today, unlike a potential Man City who's playing today. What I kind of see is if Man City doesn't get a real great match against Casablanca, and let's say a Juventus have the same record, well, these two teams could come into that last match and it could be essentially, you don't know what they're going to produce, because there's a potential that whoever is trying to finish first in this Man City group will want to look at maybe second place, because first place in this group, there's a good chance that you're going to have PSG in a few rounds, versus if you're second place, you'll go to the top side of the bracket, avoid PSG. That is a scenario that could come into play in round 3. We haven't obviously hit that. We're not even into round 2 yet. We will get there. There's a good potential that some of these teams will play to have a certain result rather than just look to win, because there's a potential easier round. I know that from experience that in competition football, sometimes you will look ahead. You don't want to, but you kind of have your eye on who's next. If we do this, we can then have a better chance to advance. And any team that has a better chance to advance in a certain scenario will take that scenario, no doubt. That is a good point. No Haaland in the lineup. He's probably resting this summer, at least for this Club World Cup. He just came back from Norwegian football. He had a full season that he played. He's coming off an injury as well. It's going to be a very important next season for him, where the Club World Cup isn't as important to a Man City type of team who is massively rich. They have tons and tons of money. They are well funded by their owner. So maybe you don't get as many of those names in the lineup with Man City as you might get in some of the others. They will have Marmoush. They will have Phil Foden. They will have a couple of those guys that they bought over the summer to help. But it's Man City. They can play to their competition. They can suffocate you, play you to a 1-0 or 2-0, or they can break you out to a 4 or 5, 6-0 if it's easy. But Pep Guardiola, you never know what to expect. They can give you 4, 5, 6 different systems. And today, against this little minnow Moroccan team, who knows what we're going to produce? It is a match that they could absolutely destroy if they want to, in a similar fashion to that Bayern-Auckland 10-0 match. But then you could also see a very conservative 2-0 approach, like we saw with Chelsea taking on LAFC. So those are the two types of approach. You'll know very early on in the match what type of system your team is playing. You'll see balls going either back and forth, side to side, through the middle. And then if they look to go up quicker, then you'll know that they're looking to attack more. But if they don't, if they're side to side and then they look to play back a few more times, you'll see a lot of that in the first half. It's what we call conservative game plan. When you start a match, in the beginning of the match, what your coach is telling you and your teammates is get here at halftime without conceding. That is the number one goal. So all your defenders, all your midfielders know, hey, the beginning part of the game, we might take this a little bit more conservatively. We might take a little bit more possession, because the worst thing that we can do is concede, put ourselves into a hole, have a potential of going into halftime down. Going into halftime down is not a good position as a player. Your opponent also knows that. So then they're going to be prepared, taking steps to mitigate risk as well coming out in the second half, which is why a lot of times you see a team go into halftime up, come out of halftime deep, letting that team absorb that pressure, push them back, and have them push all those numbers forward. You saw that yesterday with Urawa out of Japan taking on, who was it? The South African team. And the South African team was getting the best of them. And because they are doing that, it allowed them to then sit in deep, because they knew, hey, we're comfortable with what you're throwing at us. And it would be better to watch you throw numbers forward and get out of position, and us win the ball back and hit you quickly. It's less risk, less potential to lose, and less specific potential to get to halftime losing. That is your number one scenario. And that's another reason why you see so many goals late in that first half. I don't know if we've ever talked about that, but the late first half goal is something you want to pay attention to, especially when you have one of these bigger squads, 25-minute, 26 to 30. That is when they will then elevate their system. They'll push a little bit more energy. They'll push a different type of scenario, maybe overload just slightly more in order to try to nick that goal before halftime. Just like your defenders, your attackers want to go in up a goal the same way your defenders want to go in up a goal, or not down a goal, specifically with the defenders, because it gives you a better opportunity to not overextend yourself, not have to shell out and do something that could then potentially bring you some harm. That's what Man City are probably going to do today. Don't know with Juventus how they're going to approach that. Essentially, you're going to have Man City and Juventus going for the win today. It's pretty much a must-win match for those two teams, because they're the two top teams in the group. With the two top teams in the group, there's only two positions to advance. So if you get there, let's say Real Madrid ties Al Hilal today, that would be huge for Al Hilal, knowing that all they need to do is then get the better of one of those two teams. So you expect to see 3 points from those big dogs, if at all possible. Expect to see if a team is down on, let's say, a underdog like an Al Hilal, like a Casablanca, like you saw yesterday in a few of those. Expect those teams to just be conservative. There's no reason for them to overextend, because they need points. Points. It is the most important thing you can get. Second to points is goal differential. So you'll go straight to that goal minus, plus or minus goal scored versus goals conceded. That is your first step in a category, but nothing matters like 3 points. So 3 points, must win. And late in the game, you'll see not as much pushing forward like you saw with Chelsea, even though they were so much better than LAFC. I have who is it? John Eccles. I have a full lab. She's black. She's about a year and a half old. So she's just getting toward her teenage, maybe her adult years. I don't really have anything else to talk about with soccer. I could go on and on, but we've honestly talked about enough. The Gold Cup tonight is super high scoring. It's the first match. Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, Suriname, and Mexico. I expect Mexico to come out here and absolutely stroke them. I also expect Costa Rica to come out here and dominate the Dominican Republic. These small countries just don't have the type of talent that these other countries have, and money, especially money, produces better coaching, produces better facilities, just a better opportunity for outcomes to be able to get your team or your players into other countries and have better type of outcomes. So that is why I expect those two teams to be better. I guess we lost AB. So I don't know. I've lost. Anybody have any questions? I can get to them if you have any. There's also Estonia going on right now. Estonia's been particularly difficult lately to really predict. You've got some over teams and some under teams, but really you have a couple teams are just so much better than the other teams in a similar scenario that these Club World Cup teams will be against some of these teams from around the country or from around the world. So be careful. A lot of parity in that as well. And then you have, of course, I mentioned the Finnish Veikkausliiga, which is not trending as well as it was last season, going on right now, but we will get there coming soon. And AB, I'll give it back to you. I think you're muted.
Thank you. I did not mean, dude, to keep you hanging that long, but great job. I could hear you. I was doing a radio thing like right outside the hall, and well done, buddy. Well done. AJ said he's back. We thought you fell in the toilet, Bell. Oh man, dude. I love that we're still going. I still got to do Major League Baseball though. What'd I miss? Anything good? Estonia.
I mean, just normal soccer stuff.
I like it. All right. We'll get out of here. Brad, well done. Especially today. I mean, unbelievably well done. Okay. Good talk. All right. Good.
Shout out to Chicago coming in at 10:40.
Yeah. Normal. I love it.
Is this still going on?
He's like, what? It's a holiday? Yeah. Dude, we just started the radio show, and the host goes, so it seems like this Aaron Rodgers situation is getting weird. I said, really? I said, I told you. They're like, well, you said that you wouldn't have signed him. I said, I wouldn't get anywhere close to it. I said, even though it's the best option they've had at quarterback in like 9 years. And that's Aaron Rodgers at 41 and half-ass.
That doesn't really say much for the Steelers, but
it's been a tough road to hoe.
Yeah.
As they say in the farming community. Tough road to hoe. All right. That is. I think we broke the record. I like it. Didn't even mean to do it. Yes, my boy Miguel said, yes, I like big parlays. Like us, our game scores go. When I have goals, guarantee Basie. Shit. Hey, I'm in. I like big parlays too. Do you ever do that where sometimes I'll take like $20 and I'll put together like for an NBA game, finals game, or whatever. And I'll put $21 parlays, together that pay out like $97 off of $1. And it's like, Nesmith 3 threes, McConnell 1 3, Halliburton 4+. It's like all those. I love doing that. That probably sounds like an addiction warning that should be going off, but
you're allowed to have fun. That's one thing about betting.
Yeah.
Yes, we want to profit, right? It is like the number one thing to do is try to be profitable, but also, just like any other sport, there is some aspect of this that you need to have fun with. So occasionally, even I have to tell myself that, right? Have fun occasionally, like do something that you enjoy within this, not just stress out about being profitable all the time, because it's fun, right? We got to have a little bit of fun. 2-goal parlays in the MLS, that could be fun.
I'm with it.
Maybe we'll need to get a DTL 2-goal parlay.
Maybe we'll have to what?
Maybe we need a DTL 2-goal parlay for the weekends.
There we go. That's what we need. Hitting the lottery. All right. Dude, my hair is growing out.
Yeah, dude. I haven't got a haircut since that last haircut. I know, shocker, but
Yeah.
like it's been forever. I need it so
Oh
bad.
God, I remember that haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We even talked about it on the show. It's like that's how
Yep.
long it's been. I haven't even left the house hardly.
I feel you. I feel you. Oh my God. All right. All right, we'll get out of here. This has been the longest show we've ever done. And I like it. All right. I'm gonna go get to work on baseball right now. Brad, well done as always, sir. Hey, do nothing but salute you, man. All right, everybody. Best of luck. Cash these tickets. We'll see you live 3 p.m. Eastern today. And get after it, everybody. Thank you so much. You are the best. Peace. Who's got it better than us? Nobody.